Alrighty, I figured I don't have colleagues today to talk to during lunch, so I'll talk to you guys. And if you're wondering, I'm eating eggs, but I kind of destroyed them while serving, and a banana, some salt, and that's it basically. If you're curious about how my diet looks, I did make a full day of eating video a while back, so I think you can look that up. But basically, not really much has changed since then, except for the fact that I'm like consistently eating like 3,500 calories or more now. Oh shit, I gotta get a fork. Like before, I was doing like a day of heavy eating, and then every now and then it would be kinda less food, but I noticed I wasn't gaining weight. So since I'm doing it consistent now, 3,500 calories or more, I'm gaining weight. But anyway, it's the 31st of January when I'm uploading this. So, new year, new me. How's it going? I mean, I don't think you need to wait for January to set new goals, you know that, but many people, it's like, the new year starts and it's like a reason for them to undertake some new endeavors, right? And many of those times, it's related to fitness, I want to lose some weight, want to put on some muscle, want to get in shape. But also, many people quit before the month is even over. So, yeah, if you're watching this and your goal is to get in shape, how's it going for you? If you're still going, I mean, I think you're one of the few people who's actually still going. So that's good on you. And if you're struggling, if you're starting to give up or have already given up, you don't have to sweat it because, I mean, you don't have to wait until next year to start again, right? It's not because, you slacked off a little bit that you can't start again in February. And if that's the case, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. If you've been slacking up, I want to give you a couple of tips, just to get going. I think there's 3 tips in total, I guess. Yeah, and the first one is just narrow your goals down, Don't be like, oh, the new year starts, new year, new me. I'm gonna do extreme dieting and I'm gonna go running and I'm gonna go weight training and I'm gonna go hiking. I'm gonna make a diary, all these new goals. Like in general, it's difficult for humans to adjust to new situations. So the more new stuff you introduce in your life, the more difficult it's gonna be to keep up with them. And then, you have those, let's say you have like 10 goals, right? The first week, yeah, you might be able to keep up, but then all of a sudden you forgot one thing. And now you're spiraling down with your mindset because, oh no, I failed one. What about the others? And gradually you're just gonna start failing. But if you have like 1 or 2 goals, it's easier, to concentrate on those 2 changes in your life and keep them up. So that's the one thing, keep it down to a small amount of goals. Now, second of all, make your goals small. And that's not to say like your final goal should be small, You want to lose a lot of weight, great. You want to gain a lot of muscle, also great. But those are goals that take a very long time. Now, let's say you have this big goal, right? And you only look at the end destination, right? And then you have a few days, a few weeks where you're slacking off. Now all of a sudden you're like talking to yourself, saying, "Oh shit, man! Like I'm still so far, and I'm already failing. Yeah, it's not for me. I'm gonna give up." Right? That happens to a lot of people. But if you can take your goal, right, and split it up into multiple small parts, all these small steps that will help you towards your goal. You're gonna have checkpoints along the way, right? You're gonna have victories along the way, and because those victories are within reach, right? You're always close to the next victory. So even if you slack off somewhere, you can easily pick it up again because you've always got something, something to achieve. Because when I say split up your goal, in small parts, I don't just mean like, oh, I'm gonna lose 1 kilo, right? You can split it up even further, You can split it up in, I'm gonna start tracking my calories, or, I'm gonna go to the gym. And in the gym, you have different exercises, Okay, first goal in the gym, do exercise number 1, do set number 1, do rep number 1, just show up. Just showing up is the smallest goal you can achieve. So splitting your goals in very small parts is, I think, very important. Now, third one, and certainly, last but not least, is do something that you can get enjoyment out of. Again, if your goal is to lose weight, put on muscle, you're not gonna see a change every day in the mirror. So it's difficult, to keep yourself motivated if you're looking every day in the mirror, not seeing really any change. It's like watching paint dry. If you keep watching it, you won't notice that the paint has actually dried. You're just staring at a wall. Nothing's happening. But when you do see the change, that's when you paint the wall, it's wet, you go away, and then after 2 hours, you come back and you see, oh, it's dry now, It might not be dry all the way, but there's certainly progress. And what I mean by that is, in the meantime, like when you painted the wall, you're gonna do something else, right? When it's drying, you're gonna maybe read the paper, whatever, you do something else. And in the case of fitness, I think that something else is just looking for strength, looking for improvement in your fitness journey, in the gym, while running, while walking. If you want to lose weight, you want to do cardio, maybe you can see like this week you walked a total of 10 kilometers in total instead of 9.5. You have these small improvements in strength that you can see day to day, week to week. And that's way more fun and engaging, in my opinion at least, than staring at the mirror every time, Now, of course, every once in a while, you're gonna look in the mirror and see gains as well. But the fastest gains are the one you make in the gym. And I think, if you can find a sport that you enjoy, if you enjoy walking, if you enjoy running, cycling, whatever, or you enjoy the gym, bench pressing, or in probably our case, calisthenics, right? If you enjoy the sport and you get better at it, your body is going to adapt to the sport. Your body is going to become more athletic. I mean, you're not going to look like someone who can't do a single push-up if you're able to do 100 push-ups, right? Right now, you might not be able to do a single push-up, right? And you might look like you are not able to do a single push-up. But if you keep practicing, and in a year, you're able to do 50 push-ups, 100 push-ups, you're gonna look like you're able to do 100 push-ups. So it's kind of like a side effect, right? You aim for strength, you see progress daily, and then once in a while you look back, you look down on the fields from the mountain you climbed, and you can see that you made some progress. So those are my 3 tips for keeping up with your goals, I guess, right? I don't have to make it more complicated. I don't have to keep yapping. So anyway, I already trained today, but I also recorded a video regarding that. So I'm taking this lunch video after the normal training. I did hamstrings today. It was a very good training. I also focused on those small little goals because every now and then those big goals seem daunting to me as well. So I'll just play that video right now and you can enjoy the video. Alright, so first exercise of the day is Nordic curl pinky assisted holds. So as I mentioned last time during this training, it's not a finger exercise. The fingers are being used as assistance to make the load on my hamstrings lower. But anyway, the goal here is to do just a little bit more than last time. Now, last time I was able to do about 4 to 6 seconds. So today, if I can get 5 to 7, that would be very nice. And that's what I'm also hopefully gonna mention during lunch, right? I'm recording this before lunch, and during lunch I'm taking my talk. But during lunch, I will hopefully have mentioned that, if you're gonna aim for your goals, it's better, or if you wanna achieve your goals, it's better to have a few big goals, concentrate on a few goals. But also, it's good to split those goals up, because if your goal is, put on some muscle, put on 10 pounds muscle, put on strength, those are very big goals, right? And it's difficult to achieve them. But if you split them down in multiple smaller parts, then eventually you can split them down so much that you come to a single training, a single set, a single rep, and that's gonna make it way easier, to achieve your goal, because you're never far away from the next victory if you just make your victories small enough. All right, so a couple of sets of these holds in the Nordic curl, probably 4 sets, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, all right, I think that was 6 seconds, which is very nice. Let's see if we can even increase it. I feel like I can do a bit more still, so maybe we'll get to 8 seconds today. Who knows? All right, so very great progress on this first exercise. I mean, the easier or the smaller your goals are, the easier it is to get a victory. So for me, today was very easy to get a victory on this first exercise. But let's say, I didn't win. You still have other exercises. Like if you have like a personal best on the first exercise, you can keep cruising for the rest of the training, right? But if you don't, you still have the other exercises, to try and beat yourself. And, you can keep going until you get that one win, that one win you need. And then, if you just have one win in your training, I mean, then basically the entire training was a win in my book. So anyway, second exercise, pinky assisted Nordic curls, half reps of course, because I'm not gonna go all the way up, but I am gonna control the way down. All right, 4 reps. That's one more than last time. And now, finger. Right, 2 more sets. All right, 2 more sets where I just trash my hamstrings completely using finger assistance, index finger assistance instead of pinky at the beginning. 1 set of controlled reps, supersetted with fast reps, and then just 1 set at the end, completely trashing myself with only fast reps, and that's gonna be a good finisher before moving on to accessories. Supersets. All right, 1 more. superset. Alright, let's head inside. Accessories, about to get started. I mean, when it comes to hamstrings, the movement the hamstring does is really just take the heel backwards, bending the leg. So as long as you're mimicking that movement, you're aiming for your hamstring. And other than that, there's nothing complicated about it. So when I was hooking my heels behind the stairs, I was doing this movement, right? But it was a hold, so it was just in this static position. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this band here and do some banded hamstring curls. And it's the same movement, right? Just bending my leg, and this is gonna give me a good hamstring pump. So for the accessories, what I like to do most of the time, if I can get in here, is some higher rep stuff, because that's really easy to get a pump. And basically for my accessories, right, the main work has been done. My main movement has been trashed to the limit, right? I can go outside and do some more Nordic curls, but it's not really gonna have any meaning anymore. So the last thing I just wanna do to finish off is get as much blood in my muscle as possible, get a good pump, because the blood is also gonna, give, how do I say it, energy or nutrients to my muscle to help it recover when I'm done training. So yeah, I'm gonna do the hamstring curl, single leg. When I do a certain amount of reps on this side, I'm gonna mimic it on the other side, and I'm gonna repeat that for 3 times, and that's basically gonna be my training. So let's go. Okie dokie, hamstring training done, first month of the year done, and it was quite nice, having a good pump, good progress, nothing to complain about. And if in your case, the first month of the year is over and you're not really where you want to be with your New Year's goals, don't worry, right? Because it's not even that you have the rest of the year, 11 months still to work on your goals. You have your entire life. If your goal is to put on muscle, is to become stronger, that's not a 1-year thing, I mean, you can make a lot of progress in 1 year, but you can also train way longer than that. So if you, didn't really get going in the first month here in January, it's not a big deal, right? The most important part is, not whether this period of 1 month was good or bad. It's whether, you can interpret that in the right way, use it to your advantage, use it to fuel yourself for the future, Because if let's say you had a shit month, right? You told yourself, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna start working out, and you didn't, or you didn't do it as much as you wanted. Well, somewhere it's got a sting in your head, right? You're not happy with yourself. So you can use that dissatisfaction to your advantage to, from now on, like, oh, I don't want to feel like that anymore, I don't want to feel like I failed anymore. You can use it to your advantage, to get out of bed next time when you're tired and train anyway. And that's the most important part. It's not about whether you failed or not in the past, right? We all make failures, but it's more about, if you have a goal, using those failures to learn from them. And if you learn from them, if you then improve yourself, it wasn't a failure, it was a lesson, right? That's how they say it. And it sounds corny, but it's really good advice. I really like this advice, but because if you manage to do that, right, learning from your mistakes, making better actions or taking better decisions because of your mistakes in the past, then whatever happened, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be sad about it anymore. It's not gonna bother you anymore. Like, I had super big injuries in my leg and in my shoulder, but because I was able to turn it around and make good decisions because of those injuries, because of those bad times, I'm not mad about it anymore, right? I've taken peace with it, right? I'm zen. So yeah, because I was able to turn it around, I'm even a bit thankful that it happened, because I'm quite sure, like 99% sure, that if I didn't have those injuries, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. So whatever bad things happen to you, in the month of January, whatever you didn't get done, take it to heart. Don't just shove it away. Take it to heart. Be a bit mad about it, but also make sure that because of it, you take the right actions so that, like, in the future, you can be happy that it happened in the first place because it was a good lesson. Anyway, tomorrow is gonna be a push day. Of course, some planche presses, but also a diabolical chest pump is gonna come. I can feel it. I have a plan to get an insane chest pump tomorrow, and I can't wait to get it done. So I'll see you then, and yeah, that's it.